You mentioned earlier that you're happy to be back, at Rutgers and reestablishing the program. What it's meant for you to step into that transition and keep and moving forward?
Well, it's something I've always wanted to do. I've always said, I've spent 25 years in the NBA as a coach. And I said, if I ever want to coach in college, it would be Rutgers. And here I am. So it's very special. And from where the program had been in the spring, the things that we had to do to replenish the roster, to restore some pride and integrity back, and to move forward with the program, it's been great for me.
If you can, talk about what it's meant. When you were a player there, was that you probably thought about coaching, but is it may come across your mind and all maybe once or twice, but as far as coming back and being and actually getting the job,
Well, I've always wanted to coach ever since I was a ninth grader. So
young guy.
Yeah, I wanted to coach before I thought I could play at a high level. It means a lot to come back. There's a lot of support, and there's a lot of expectations, and we know it's going to take some time, but we want to exceed those expectations. If people think it may take 3 years, can we do it in a year? Can we do it in 2? And I know you can't build it overnight, but we're trying. We've got terrific kids. We have a good product to sell. It's a great academic institution. We're in a great area. We have New York. And we're in this conference, the American Athletic Conference, that's very prestigious, even though it's one year. But look at the coaches. Look at the perennial Final Four teams that's in it. So there's a lot of history already with the conference, with the people that's in it. So we're glad to be challenged by the best, and we'll see where we go.
The transition from the Big East over to American, smaller conference. In the Big East, it was one game during the season and then one in the tournament. If everything works out okay, now you got a home and home. You either split or sweep. Is it better for scouting purposes or is it better for your brand?
It's probably better for the brand. And will there be rivalries? Sort of coming out of it, I don't know, but for the most part, they're good schools, they're good coaches. There's some tradition with each school, and we just have to see where we are stacked up against the best schools.
The conference also is spread out from Texas to the upper Midwest, all the way to the Northeast. It opens up recruiting purposes. Now you're in the areas where you have seen guys during the summer, but because of the regions, it was more beneficial for you to take care of home. Now you can spread out.
Well, I've always read where, even just recently, I read where the teams that are leaving their conference to go to the ACC, whether it's Pittsburgh, Syracuse, Notre Dame, people thought that they would have to recruit different areas. And those three coaches says our recruiting base is still probably the richest anywhere in the country, from New York to D.C. And that's where we are. We're smack dab in the middle of that. And we're going to lay stake in that region for us. And if we can just get New Jersey product, which has very good players, that's always number one. New York, D.C., Virginia, Philly has been 1A. So we don't necessarily think that we have to go outside of our region. We do, but it's not a necessity, but we still want to get the best talent, wherever they are.
Good job. Talk about Miles, what he means as far as leadership and holding it together from sideline to the floor.
Well, first of all, Miles was the guy who wanted to stay. He has pride for his school, for his community, for his state, and just the fact that he's our only returning scorer in double figures. And the way he plays, he's got a heart as big as anybody. He's a competitor. He's got a great skill set, and we're going to ride him, as small as he is. We're going to ride him as much as we can. But he understands how I feel about him, and it's important that we maximize his ability on the floor.
Leagues, they change and they vary somewhat, but the balance is always Little guy, point guard, that's the leader. Big guy inside that controls. Talk about your post play.
Well, that's why I have Wally Judge here. He's our senior leader. He's very physical. He's been through the wars. He takes care of our paint, even though he likes to shoot the jump shot more often than I like for him to. But
they always do.
They always do, right?
They always do.
Bigs want to be small, small want to be big. But just his experience, his toughness, his leadership is going to help us. But the fact that he will control the paint for us, and Miles will control the three-point line. But it's a new team, so we have to learn how to play together. And then we have to learn how to win together, which is two different things.
I asked Miles earlier about the new workout rules, situation.
Yep.
How much has it been a helpmate to have those extra days and all, where you don't have to grind it all out the first, where it's been in the past, that first week you got to drop a whole lot of stuff in, and then the second week you got to pull that back. Maybe we can add this, now you got to balance.
Coach's job, you can come work with me.
Coach, I spent 20 years during the summer, then it got crazy, and that's for another conversation, and I said, once the last one leaves, I'm done.
That's it.
And that's been 6 years ago, and I'm happy, and he's happy. I'm happy. His family's happy.
You're right. The spring workouts, when I got there, we had spring workouts. The summer workouts have been beneficial, big time for us, especially for me, a new coach, especially for us, Rutgers, with new players coming in and basically a new team. So we sort of laid down some foundations of what we want to do in this part of the year now. And they got the hang of it, and it was a big head start for us, major for us.
Is there anything else that I hadn't asked you about that you hadn't talked about today about Rutgers?
No, number one, it's a great school. It's a great academic institution. It's right in the heart. We get the New York media, which is big. And I'm a coach that, like you said, I'm from Rutgers, and anybody that comes in is going to be family. We want to take care of them as far as our recruiting. And our kids we have a 100% graduation rate the last couple of years. We had, double check me on that, I don't want to be wrong on that one. We have 100% APR rating, so
there you go.
That's important.
As they say, that's the new.
That's the new.
That's the new deal. Yeah, that's the new King Cobra out there right now.
That's right.
Messing with that, it'll strike hard.
That's right.
It'll strike hard. Coach, thank you for your time. Good luck on the upcoming season. Oh, by the way, did you all make a trip to Houston this year? And when?
Yes, we're going to Houston.
All right.
So
we'll stay in touch.
Okay.
We'll touch.
All right,
this
cool.
is Jerry Lee Willer Jr. with another College Sports Report here in Memphis, Tennessee at the American Men's Basketball Media Day.